So as the topic goes, is research, collaborations and knowledge interactions. So knowledge is irrespective of which level you belong to. Whether you are a small school-going kid or you are a faculty or you are whatever researchers, research definitely is important in higher education, as I would say, where most of us, at least in universities like JNU, we have a huge research program. Every school, every faculty is doing some kind of research or the other. So obviously we gain a lot of things from there. I would like to actually say that JNU basically is, so according to this topic of quadruple helix, I'm sure you understand quadruple helix. We knew only of triple helix, double helix, triple helix, that's a very biology term. But obviously in today's scenario, we do understand what is quadruple helix. So bottom line for any kind of, projects that you get, we all know how government supports you and how much they support you with everything. So you have to look for even partners who are going to be beyond your funding agencies. And those partners are actually essential. So here we have things like, university, industry, government, and of course the civil society. University, I would not so much agree with university, I would just call them as institutions. It can be an institute too. So basically you have institutional where academia, I would suggest, is going on. So academia generally is involved, at least in terms of science, they are more involved actually in, basic sciences, basic subjects, we are more involved into it. Obviously with time now, and remember whatever basic sciences, basic things that you do, it has to be with government policies. You have to get along with that and you will always require government to be in whatever it is form. Industry is something which has come up a lot now because we need industry to basically translate whatever products or whatever you want to be translated to reach onto the civil society. Those are the things which we all are looking forward to it actually. So how do we go about? As such, we are just a university here, but definitely JNU is JNU is a very premier institute of the country. Our NAC ranking, our NIRF rankings are very high. All of us know that, right? So obviously people look up to you, and when you realize when you go a little higher, people want to always interact with JNU. So that is one thing you should always, and then you are by default becoming leaders in many subject areas. And that leadership quality, JNU cannot afford to lose it by any chance, be it science, be it humanities, be it whatever it is. So you all have gone around, read a lot about JNU. We have so many departments, centers. It's a huge campus if you look at it, and almost like nearly every subject you can think, we have it here. Maybe not in medical or anything, but yes, we have engineering. In the near future, we have started with all kind of things. Industry is something, obviously there are a lot of industries which are there, no doubt about it, which are interested in you. If I tell you the Covaxin, when Covaxin was made, it took so much of the pressure out of the country because of the Covaxin. The girl Sumati, she was our very own student of SLS who led this group. So we feel so proud about it as a teacher, no doubt about it. And I'm sure this goes with every teacher, every faculty, whoever is represented by you. Obviously, all the students here who are doing undergrad or grad, they're not going to become a part of your PhD program. They will not become a part of your faculty, obviously, but then you have already laid the foundation in all of them and you expect that they are going to follow all these criteria. For example, why do we need all these things? Obviously, we need to generate. So now when we talk of industry, at least this government has actually picked up the Atal incubation centers. We also have an Atal incubation centers where scientists can go ahead and they can initiate with the help of our industry to make small products, and those small will definitely lead you to higher products whenever it is. Plus, we have industries who are directly with a group of people or whatever it is, depending on their interest. So that becomes very interesting for us. Obviously, we generate from the startups, which is generally in these days with the Atal incubation, that almost everywhere, the lab tinkering, all these things you've heard about it, These are all part of the program the government has laid, which starts from school level to higher levels. It is just to inculcate basically the kind of interactions, the knowledge that is required to make a product that can be beneficial to actually a society, right? That's what we need. We all are selfish. We all need something which is going to be better for us. We are not interested in other things. Then we obviously we create new products. We'll come to them. We facilitate innovations to different kind of policies that we have developed. So obviously, we have science policies for science people. So you have to maintain all these things. I'll come to those things. Then you have obviously knowledge interactions, and frugal is something which we all look forward to. Least amount of money, you can get up to something the best that you can think about. So all these frugal innovations are very, very helpful. Some in the past that I would like to say is the Jaipur foot. All of us know the Jaipur foot, what it is, so now these people can walk with the help of it, and it is not an expensive thing, but that is an innovation which was done, which is helping so many people to use it. Akash tablet, it's like 2,500 ka tablet you are getting. Every school kid is now getting this tablet, and you can do your basic computer works on that. That's an innovation, I would say. You don't have to buy a 50,000 computer or a laptop or whatever it is. This is important. And the most important thing is how we can get low-cost healthcare system. Low-cost healthcare system, first and foremost, we had the Covaxin, which saved the entire country and many other countries, no doubt about it. We had so many small products at that time. So in the pandemic, we didn't have to get so worked up because we tried our best to get the best of it. And that way we sort of tried to control. So any medicine, be it a cancer medicine, be it a neurodegeneration medicine, all these things may be there, but they're very costly. So to make these things cost effective is something which you need basically a basic scientist who can go ahead with the help of industries to manufacture that at a lower cost. That's what we intend to go ahead and do.
Excellent.
Yeah.
No, you have to point it that somewhere.
Oh, acha. No?
So, yeah.
Come?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, the only thing that we say, which I talked about, is that JNU has to take the leadership because of the position that we have got from our seniors. We have all been there now. You add on to it, you can create a better place for all of us to do it. And obviously, if you just read this line, interdisciplinary research, and when we talk about research, we don't have a divide line as to this is a humanities product or this is what is called as a biological product. Now, science as such requires all biology, chemistry, physics. We require the scientists who are in the science policy. So many places, you need economists, so many things you need. One something that we have here in the recent time, DST, Department of Science and Technology, has come up with a program which is called as Anusandhan National Research Foundation. Okay, ANRF with PAIR. What is meaning? Based on your ranking in the university, you become a hub and you can do research on certain topics which they have sort of identified for you, and you can choose spokes. Spokes can be smaller university, state universities and stuff like that. Why did they need this program? The reason why they needed this program was they actually want, the country wants that why only one JNU or DU or IIT? No, let the entire country get that kind of a flavor that science can be done. And therefore you have a program now. This was the first call where we have mainly with biological sciences, but again they're coming up with something which is, in my terms, humanity. Okay, so at the end of the down the lane 10-15 years down the lane, what will happen? Every small place also who becomes a spoke gets a chance to interact with scientists, with researchers of higher university, become a part of that program. You not only benefit scientifically or your research enhancement, there's so much exchange of ideas. We help you, you help us, and that way the entire country is going to benefit. So this is a brilliant program which has come up by DST, and they have actually changed the name to ANRF now. So that is the reason, so that the idea that they are floating is that we want to increase the GDP of a country in science or research, let's put it that way. How do you do it? You need people to do that research, and to get those people, you will have to first train them to come to a level so they can write projects, they can write with the help of you, they can interact with you, and slowly the country's scenario will change basically. That's what we are expecting here. So we expect people to come from different backgrounds. Different background means not only life sciences, let's say we want SCMM also, we want SBT also, maybe we want science policy people also, maybe we need economists also. Economists, all of you know, I'm not an economist, but we really require them in areas like where you talk of environmental sustainability and all. You need their help. You cannot do without a science policy maker with you. You have to require these people to make it more strengthened. So that's exactly what we are trying to do now at JNU. So we have submitted that. Let's see what happens. So you can have homogeneous or heterogeneous partners. What do you mean by homogeneous? I can write a grant with all the biologists, maybe from different countries, from the same place, wherever it is. But then it's a homogeneous population where we are all being treated right as all biologists, and we come up, you require that. Okay, we are looking at some kind of a cancer product, we are looking at some answers that you want. Heterogeneous is when you are going to interact with other people. That becomes important depending on the topic of research that you are thinking of doing that, right? So JNU's environmental build-up is knowledge, should transcend disciplinary, institutional and geographical boundaries. Why? You need within an academic institute, I can have it in SLS, I can have it in JNU. So that's very within us. You can have collaborations with other academic institution. I can go to Bangalore, I can go to Assam, I can go to wherever places. Like-minded people, you will figure it out and you will definitely find partners for yourself. You will need government entity. And that becomes very, very important for us to realize that. Then industries can be your very good partner. Sometimes you need a lot of money. You need to scale up the products that you are planning to make or have made. And obviously international researchers. International collaborations become very important. Now, I don't know how much you people know, but government has a lot of these international collaborations floated out. Time to time that those vacancies will come out where you can have, let's say with Germany, where you will have with US or whichever country you can think about. You can always write these grants and get money. And I'm sure humanities people do much more than what we do. But the fact is that international collaboration not only help you increase your ideas, but you also sort of look at the same problem from a different angle. That's all. When you are studying, let's say a socio-political, scenario or whatever it is. So that becomes very, very important for us. And these are just to show you how we need to do. So which level we need knowledge interactions? Knowledge is something which needs to be passed on to every level of person, whether you are geographically distant, you are socially distant, you are financially distant, whatever. So JNU has got good ones. We have for school going kids. So you will figure it out that lot of school children in Delhi itself and sometimes even from outside, they will come to visit lab. आपने सुना होगा जन JNU. Have you heard of this program? It's a science day program which happens right here. So school kids will come over, we have little posters for them, little experiments for them. They come and have a look at it, and they are sort of, you are increasing them or getting them more enthusiastic about certain things. You know, some of them will decide. So when we had one summer school, so we had these kids who were like BSc, MSc. So after having worked for, 5 weeks, that guy, we said, what did you feel? How many of you are actually interested? You know what that guy got up and said? One thing I have realized, I will never do science. We said, why? He said, there's too much of work, madam. Morning to evening night we are working. What is the point of working so much? That realization also is important for you. You don't have to keep going to a certain distance because everybody is going. So those kind of a realization are important for you. And school kids are the best. When I say school kids, it's going to be 8, 9, senior school, like you say. You really need to get them interested and to focus on the area that they want. Today's kids are very, very smart. They are very focused if you interact with them. Reason? They have all kind of, Google Baba will tell you everything, where is what and everything. So they know more than what you and me know. But we are here to shape up things and to bring you to reality as such. College and small kids, like we get people coming from northeast, we have people coming from south, so many people keep coming. What are these? These are college students who have never actually come across very high-end instruments or high-end teachers. So what we do is we have small programs for them. We have, we have central instrumentation facility in JNU. We show them all those things. So they are very happy. What are the work you can do? What else can you actually do with this instrument? They may have read that, okay, fax is one place, we can do cell cycle. No, I can do many more things. So when you tell them, they are like, they get pretty excited about the fact that there are so many other programs that you can actually do research topics. So they go back. Then they come back, कि मुझे JNU जाना है. I have to go to JNU to do my research work. It's so nice. Even if you have done 10, 20 people at every year in every school, I think that's fair enough for all of us to do. Postgraduate, I mean, if you look at JNU, JNU has a lot of programs for postgraduate and even the young teachers, as I would say, college teachers and all. What do we have? We have workshop, we have symposia, where people come from, they are very distinguished researchers who will come and sort of give a talk, interact with them. You feel so good when you say, somebody say, oh, this teacher, I had only heard about her. And when you interact, you feel like, wow, I understand the language she speaks. You are so happy about these things. So that makes you feel that I too need to do something like that. So we have those programs. We have, at least in life sciences and all, we have something called as a 5-week program, which is basically summer school program, where children will come. These are all like undergrads to first year of MSc. They come here, we give them a hands-on training in every lab. We don't gain much about it, but as a part of university, we should do something for the society, and we do that. So we give them a 5 weeks program with at least 2 talks by eminent scientists of Delhi, not only of life sciences, but from Delhi also we get it. So you are so happy, okay, you've come from NII, you come from IGIB, you come from Delhi University, so they have a very broader vision of what they have come for. Plus, we also have winter schools, where what we do there, we have teachers coming from small colleges, far off, distant off, it doesn't matter, wherever you come from. We have, of course, limiting seat numbers which are there, and we tell them how to write a grant. Writing a grant becomes very, very important, and we do explain to them as much as we can how to write a grant. We even correct them. Even when you write, we are there to help you to improve upon that. That's something which we do very often. Every year we do that. So I'm sure every school is doing this. You are actually nurturing the young ones to do better in whichever field that you are. And that is something which becomes very, very important for all of us. Then you have exchange programs. Now, what are these exchange programs? Government comes out, funding agency comes out with lot of exchange programs, like, the German exchange program, the DAD, and all these fellowships which are there. So what happens here is you can apply directly. You don't even have to look at your boss for this. And if you get it, you have a chance to go there, do a part of your research work, and come back. So you are increasing your collaborations, your boss's collaboration, everything happens there. So these exchange programs become very important. Plus, there are some grants where the faculty writes, where it is that my student will be visiting you, your student will be visiting. So now what happens is not only one visit of mine and yours, 10 more students there learn so many more things, even if they have not visited. So these exchange programs become very, very important for all of us as to what we do. So obviously, these interactions that we talk about is bridging the urban and the rural areas. India is generally largely rural, or even in states, if you go, it's a very poor condition when you look at the universities. And it becomes very imperative for people like us how to bring them to the mainstream. This responsibility JNU has taken, and we are proud to say that we have actually done a lot, and we still are doing a lot about how to enhance these faculty who are less privileged, as I would say, to become, or let them realize as to how well you could do these things. So what are these things which are challenges in access to knowledge resources? Obviously, if you look, we have a very good library system, others don't have a library system. How can I make it accessible to people who are outside? So in recent time, what it has happened, so all these journals that we talk about, they're very, very expensive if you have to do one, whether it's a Springer or it is, well, whatever you figure it out, they are in crores. We cannot afford to it. So now government has made one country, one nation, one subscription. So what will happen? Everybody will get an access to the same journals. Once you have an access, it's a go word from there onward. So that becomes very good for us. Obviously, well-equipped laboratories. So many a times we have central facilities and stuff. If students come over from different parts of the place, it's all on the AIRF that we talk about. They come over. And when they come over here, what do we do with them? We are basically actually asking them to come and use it directly. You don't have to come via me or yourself. Now, at least in science, what we have done is when you get bigger grants like Builder, FIST and all, so on the website, not our, on the funding agency website, you have to put up what are the instruments you have, when are they free, anybody can approach and they can come. So it is, you don't have to ask anybody. So these I think are very, very important when you are talking about it. And language is a big barrier. You know, you may speak good English, I may not speak good English. So students are scared of you and me. So we try, and I'm sure this trial is there in entire JNU, we try to get those intelligent minds through our interview plans where they speak in Hindi, how to explain to us, and slowly by the end of the course you'll see they all are answering in English. It's very important, you know, so that barrier, at least, you know, in most of the education system that we have, whether it's science or in many of them, we have to communicate in English, whether we like or we do not like. Nobody worldwide will understand your language. So that becomes very, very important for us. Now, what are the collaborations required? See, collaborations are something which is very important, but collaborations also have its own challenges. So when we talk of these collaborations, first of all, whatever background, whatever you have, you need to share your data. If I'm collaborating with you, I have to be very genuine and I need to share my data. You have to share my data. Today, if you look at it, many collaborations, or even in the lab with 5 people, you will realize there are papers which are actually retracted, right? I may not have done, but you may have done the cheating, but the entire paper has come back to you. So these things are not something which we would appreciate. So it should be a genuine kind of a collaborations where we will share the data, we will share how we analyze that. And that becomes very important. Obviously, we create knowledge, and through interactions, discussions, all the time we have these are very important. So some of the program that I just spoke to you is about ANRF. We have ASEAN. So these are different programs that are being run by the government, whereby they expect you to have collaborations not only with the Indian diaspora, but also your collaborations with the foreign one. These are just some of them that I have written. And most of these projects we have in JNU. That's the best part. Be it SPAC, whatever. We have some people who are running apart from these things. And these I'm talking, it's at a multi-departmental levels. And these are not talking about just within it. Within us, there are many programs that is run. But these are multi-university and all. So these programs actually, you may not see the results now, but definitely you'll see the results after a while. It will take some 5-10 years for it to actually show up these results. So what is JNU doing? JNU is actually bridging these gaps, whatever we talked about. We all know JNU is definitely one of the university. We support the poorest of the poor, right? And we are very proud of that fact. We support all the poorest of the poor students, universities. We are absolutely do not hesitate on that. So there is an open knowledge sharing platform. What does it mean? UGC also came up with this. You know, you may have heard of the word Swayam, right? What is it? All lectures are given there, right? It's there. So anybody in a remotest of the place can also listen to that, and they can get a knowledge, wow, that teacher has taught so well. Even if I don't have a book, you can get. So there are so many of our staff, faculties who are actually doing this Swayam or online teaching. So many programs are there. So you can actually have open knowledge sharing platforms, which you can figure it out, which also reaches to the far off people that you have. Engagement with school and college teachers, which we do all the time, all of us in this JNU. We collaborate with student initiatives. We have, you know, even these ATALs and all, you can have students initiative. Government has come out with a program where school children can also come up with some kind of an idea which they think they can do, and we give you help with other universities and all. And that is what generally like with the ATAL tinkering labs at the school level, where these children are allowed to do something and then they can be extrapolated with the higher authorities in that. And then you have what is called as remote learning and digital inclusion, which is there. I'm sorry about it. So the thing is that yes, so we have these platforms, and we also have these platforms here. It's not only the government, many people are there who are giving these kind of talks here and there, that you will figure it out. So where we do in global, developing open source learning modules. Have you ever heard in any book, I don't know about the humanities book, I have not read, I'm sorry, but in science book, the classic books that we have, every book has one video attached to it, just the site. For what? You can listen right from the horse's mouth who did these experiments. It's amazing. It's amazing if you ever look at it, because nobody can explain you better than the person who has done. So for every topic, every page, you will find 1 or 2 such videos which are there. It's all on the YouTube, and you can figure it out. YouTube has so many knowledge. I mean, I have heard so many humanities lectures which I do not understand, but it's just nice to know something extra than what you are supposed to be knowing. Then you have something which is called as international faculty outreach. So globally you will have to do. So basically you can do this in India, you can do with abroad people, and you co-develop policy recommendations which are there, so important for all of us. So JNU definitely promotes all these things, and every day as a director R&D I see somebody or the other is doing some workshop, some symposium, where they have either for this GYAN is also one of those programs where you have people coming from different places. You have somebody who is an authority in the subject area talking to you about whatever research they have done. So that becomes very, very important. So when we talk about this, you have open access, digital archives and bilingual contents. We have these things. If you go to the library, you will figure them out. Teacher training, capacity building workshops. What are these? These are what we call as HRDC. Now it is called as Madan Malviya something. But basically everybody, year-wise, we are doing this in different subjects. These are refresher courses or whatever it's called. and you have to give lectures, and that is the thing that you make the college teachers come to the most modern level at the time, and they are good enough, they will follow it up. Remote learning, that's where we want to do things, digital inclusion and virtual collaboration. Virtual collaborations become very important. So today you will always figure it out how we are all interacting with our collaborators virtually, right? Then these are the collaboration for inclusive, so basically idea is whatever the words may be written, the idea is how we need to collaborate and whatever. So JNU has got many things. So we have all these kind of programs. If you look at the MOUs, Memorandum of Understanding and all, we have more than 300, 400 of them. What is it? It's basically we go and collaborate with different universities. There people come over, we interact with them, we sign a MOU. So there is a lot of exchange programs which are happening. So JNU being JNU, we have 400-500 such programs MOU, some which become dead after a while and some which are still very, very active. So this becomes very important. This becomes very important, cross-sector collaborators. You need think tanks, you need industry. I don't know, where did I go? Oh, okay. I think I increased somehow. Yeah. But anyway, jo bhi hai. So these are the requirements that you can think about it, that is important for any kind of a collaborations that you need. Definitely grants, which is most important, either government supported, industry supported, whoever supports you, whichever country supports you. Without grants you cannot write. So more the merrier if you write grants, that becomes very, very important. Then infrastructure. I don't know how many of you have ever seen smaller universities. You will figure out there is one small room where all the teachers are sitting. Where will they do their research if you want them? So you need infrastructure. Today, if you look at it, it's now a 4-year degree program for your BSc, right? DU has made that, and everyone will make it. DU being one of the best universities for your undergraduate studies. Go to the colleges who are supposed to be the best. Where is your teacher who can do research there? So the 4th year is supposed to be for research based, and then they can join your 2nd year masters. We haven't bothered to figure it out that these people, whenever they are going to come to you, what kind of a research have they done? No, they haven't done any kind of a research. They have just come with theoretical knowledge of research, and that is good for nothing. Let me just tell you, good for nothing. Even your MPhil programs, which are just research, not research practical based, how can you ask them to do anything, So, but the thing is, how well we can improve that infrastructure is something which is very, very important for all of us. So, we need to actually build good school, get good students, build good colleges, get good teachers. That is where the entire crux comes. If you are going to hire them, make them everything available to them, or a maximum thing, I'm sure it will work. It's not that people don't want to work, people want to work here. So we will have all these kind of, so we have lot of student exchange programs, mentorships. So you can adopt a college, you can do mentorship for teachers. You don't need a grant for that, you can always help teachers for that. So we do, time to time we will just help them with some experiments. Okay ma'am, dekh lo mera, I'm writing a grant, can you help me? So these are ways you can actually help without requiring grants. That's important. So JNU has got lot of programs, and these are all basically, we have so many such training programs in every department center that is happening. We all do this. Then for example, Center for Study of Law and Governance. What have they done? They have all made this data AI governance, so AI based lot of programs is having in JNU. Almost every department has something like this. So obviously the thing is, if you get known for the kind of programs that you run, people will definitely come. So if I look at it, it's not only Center for Governance, Law and Governance, you can see computational and integration. We have a huge SCIS which helps many, many people. We have a big computer data center out here. That becomes environmental science is something which is very nice. I don't know how many of you know, the environmental sciences here has 4 different fields, areas where they work. It's not just biology there which is happening, it can be all geology and everything is there. So environment becoming so important, now all these policymakers are required. We need people from different field areas who will be talking about it. So SES actually has taken a lead in it. They have a lot of government programs where people are working. The ministry supports them in these kind of programs. Then you have computational centers which are working. I won't go into details of that, but the thing is that every school, I don't know, we have, is doing some program or the other, and you have to take the benefit out of those. The problem of these collaborations are, these are challenges. What is the biggest challenge? I collaborate with you. The very first thing that I'll ask, who is the ownership? I have, you have. That's where the TIF comes, and then we do not know. Where is the grant coming, in your place or my place? Why should I get not 50-50? So all kind of things are there. So these have to be spelled out. Many at times, many programs fizzle out because of these kind of program. Then like intellectual property right. Who has the intellectual property? Who is the owner of that work? Me or you? Why not you and me both? So these are programs where are there. So at least in science, I know the funding agencies also help you. JNU has an IPM center. We help you to actually get all kind of patents, interactions with others, how much is your share, how much is JNU share, how much is, all these things are there. You cannot just run anything and everything without the knowledge of JNU. That is one problem that we have faced, and that is something which we want to make it very, very clear to people, that JNU actually is going to be supporting every initiative that you take, but to a level where JNU also should be included. If you don't include JNU, then we don't give you any support. That is absolutely clear with all the programs that we have. And we definitely favor everybody, and we encourage people to write these programs time to time. If we get some kind of a knowledge that, look, this program is coming up, we send it out to all the faculty. Please join us, whoever it is. So more the merrier, I said, at least for some programs, and therefore we actually go ahead with that. Thank you. Any questions? Then I can answer.
Well, this is more for our understanding and knowledge of how JNU works and what are its priorities. So, of course, there can be questions on if you have not understood a particular scheme, etc. But I think,
we cannot really ask a question why JNU is not doing this.
I mean, we are ready. You come up with a program, we are ready.
Yeah.
You identify the faculty or the school, whatever it is, we are here to help people.
I think one message has gone very clear, that at different levels how these interactions are important and are being carried out, and what are the factors which remain below the radar of many of the theoretical constructs that we often make about collaborations, knowledge interactions. I mean, the problems might arise because we speak two different languages, for example, yeah. Or the infrastructures are different in the two places where people are coming to collaborate from. So
government initiative is now there to help everyone. We have to increase the GDP, as the people will tell you who matter in science and all. They are the ones who really now want to get into it, because end of the day we have realized there are only pockets where things happen, and we need to increase that scenario. That's all I would say. So we are here to help. And remember, any kind of a collaboration does not require finance. Some collaboration, some imparting knowledge can be done by you at the very low level, and you'll be happy if you can actually impart some knowledge to a school going child. I'm telling you, they are your future. So you need to do that. It's not always an outcome is necessary, but we should. But R&D is definitely for an outcome product that we look about, but I'm just saying, as a human, as a scientist.
And as a teacher.
As a teacher, definitely. Always. Thank you so much.